you blow by blow details of what's going on. I just want to just unpack some stuff that has been building, and I had posted about the blackout warning last year. I think it was like November, something like that. And the warning that the State Department gave, and I've posted a few videos after the fact. You know, I don't know if people really realize, but a lot of things that happen around the world or that has something to do with us is intentional. For example, what's happening out in Puerto Rico, that's intentional. Detroit, as a city being defunded, intentional. Flint water, intentional. These are things that they do to. I mean, I'm not saying it's deliberate, but sometimes they just are slow to act, or with regards to crises, and because they want to see what happens. They didn't get those people water and electricity and things like that in Puerto Rico for a long time because they wanted to see per that population, at particular a population of that magnitude, how it was a good test, militarily or however you want to put it, to see, okay, so how long is it gonna, it's a study case, how long is it gonna take for things to break down, certain things that they're looking for to break down, certain things as far as in human behavior, all that stuff, disease, and they're looking at all that stuff. So, and I know some of us don't believe it, but some of us do believe, that a lot of things that happen globally are intentional so that they can bring about a one global system, one global, system. Some people say New World Order per Bush one. Certain things have to happen. There's one thing that people I hear talk about this never mention, which is in order for it to happen, the final thing that has to happen before anything gets in play, before the actual coming together of the new world order, literally, and with the chipping and all that, is the United States has to go under. And some people feel like there's been an intentional collapse of our economy over decades, and your elitists on both sides, red and blue, that are intentionally doing things, robbing us. How they stole 20 something trillion, right before 9/11, and how they've been, all these corporations and these quote unquote Jews are stealing money. Jews as in ISIS, stealing from us, and they're trying to take our economy, all this stuff. So I'm saying all this to say that Venezuela is a test. Some say we did it, and which was that we went in and messed with their grid, their power grid. You know, for one, obviously, I mean, well, it's multifaceted. For one, obviously, we want the puppet dictator that we want to have in. Anytime we back a dictator or somebody in another country, it's because they're going to do our will. Okay, not necessarily meaning that they're best for that country. They're best for our interests. Never forget that. Okay, so it was that, and but it was also an opportunity to see per you know not just with the sanctions, already had sanctions, but of that, a country of that magnitude, in that area, to hit that area, how is it going to domino effect, and how's it, um what did I say, automatic, right? Okay, a domino effect, or you know um how are the people going to react, and you get to see things unfold, human fight or flight, and all that stuff, and so we have, there's a lot of signs, man. You had the economists cover, Some people don't want to believe it. You know, and some people want to call people like me and other people crazy or delusional, tinfoil hats, or fear mongers, or but I I have an uneasy feeling, and it, some of the I have a very uneasy feeling. There is some scary similarities into what I see developing in with regards to some sets of dreams that I had 10 years ago. Matter of fact, it wasn't even 10, it was more than 10 years ago, but I had these same set of recurring dreams, and it had something to do with this nation and war. I think a lot of people most people in this country are really naive and want to think that the glass is half full. And I don't even think, because I think somehow, in some ways, because of the things that we already have to deal with on a daily basis, the stress of paying bills and having kids, a wife, family, marriage. Then you got you ass boss assholes getting, work, just living in general, and how stressful and difficult it can may be already. I don't think people can even put the mental strain on. They just don't want to even consider the fact that something terrible is upon us in this country. I mean, even what's kind of weird is like even some Christian people. I mean, if you even go by the Christian Bible, I mean, back when, and I'm not Christian. I'm not King James version. I don't follow the King James version or the church of the English church, England, the Church of England's Orthodox Bible. I don't. I won't. No, but you know, I'm familiar with it. I mean, and even when I was still calling myself a Christian, I knew then that this. I came to the conclusion like America's Babylon. America's the whore that cannot be trusted. We have been very two faced. Have you noticed that a lot of the people that we are into it with, we were allies at one point. We break truces and treaties, and we backstab, and we are the whore of Babylon. You know what I mean? We are the unfortunately, and I hate to say it like that, but you know, people, y'all, you know, there's going to be some dark days ahead. There's definitely about to be some dark days ahead. Um, I already did a video about, like, people were saying, oh, there's nowhere you're going to be safe. You're right. You're right. You know, uh, you're right. And like I said, my answer to it is you have to go underground. I don't think it's time enough to do anything adequate, because I think this is going to happen pretty soon. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to put a time limit on it, but I mean, I definitely would say within the next 5 years, something, some we are going to experience some type of emergency. Um, you know, some people want to say it might. There's people saying it's going to happen by the end of this year. And some people say, well, it'll probably pop off in the summertime, because the summertime, it's hot everywhere, so people wouldn't be able to store anything. Because in the wintertime you can store up some stuff. You can actually make your own refrigerator by pulling up, in the ground. You could pull up a square patch of dirt and go down so far, and you could, use it to refrigerate your food. Well, if you're, in the heat, you know, rotting corpses and rotting food and rotting animals, and so you have breeding conditions for, to amplify what's going to happen. Now, some people talking about EMP pulse. I don't know because they could just do from what we're seeing in Venezuela. They could pretty much do just a grid shutdown, and cause a lot of havoc. Yeah, you may be able to get around with your car, but you can't do shit else. We're not. We're such a cashless society now. You can't do nothing else. You can't. You wouldn't be able to go to the store and buy anything. No food, nothing. You have to pay your rent. Or your mortgage, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna still. I don't think it's gonna be a total nationwide thing. It's gonna be something where, and I just watched a movie where it was something. I don't know if it was a movie. No, it wasn't a movie. It was something. It was a series that came up. They've been telling us for a long time, and that's what they do. They hide things in plain sight by telling us through movies and TV shows. But it was a TV show that came out some years back, but it was on Netflix or something like that, and I watched it. But it had something to do with the outbreak. It was a some type of virus outbreak. It was a biowarfare outbreak, and it was happened in Atlanta, of all places. You notice how all these things play out in Atlanta, where the headquarters of the CDC is. So it was a part of Atlanta that had to be shut down. So and then it kind of spread, but there were other. What I'm saying is basically it was other parts of the nation that was still functioning. So I don't think it's going to be a total countrywide catastrophe. I think it's going to be something that will affect, upwards to a third of the nation. There's what, three or so power grid. I don't know. I know Texas had their own power grid, but like I said, I think just doing a power grid shutdown alone would do some damage. Here's some uncomfortable truths, okay? And I bet this is just going to be, I know the title of the video, but it all kind of ties in, okay? Um, this country has never been united. I mean, if we all cut the bullshit, this country has never been united. It has been intentionally pit one group of people against another. It intentionally did that at 1672 or 70, something like that is when they decreed, and this whole division occurred. And not to go off into the history, but it plays a part into what's going on, because trust me, what's happening right now, they have been planning in stages for a long time before this nation was even a nation. Okay, this goes back to Jesuits, and these are prophecies or things, or I don't know what you want to call it, prophecies or things that they've been wanting to do to fulfill. Some people, Christians or whatever, if you're religious, you want to say, oh, it's the devil, and the devil's minions have been wanting to bring Lucifer, in and whatever. But however you want to say it, this has been something that has been being played out, and this country's been never been divided. I mean, has always been divided and never been united. Okay, we have been divided, and we've allowed them to divide us for silly shit like skin color. While the globalists and these people, these secret societies, and these families, these elite families, that we don't know, that's not the Bilderbergs and the people that run that they answer to, and Rothschilds and the people that they answer to. Okay, we allow them to divert our attention to what they've been doing and planning all this time by pitting us against each other by color, and make one feel better than the other one, and they won't notice us picking their pockets. That means that they have intentionally divided this nation in order to make sure we are distracted enough so that they could come to where they are right now. And I tell you this, part of the plan is for us to fall. I know nobody want to hear that. Everybody want to be like, yeah, we have the baddest, military in the world. But I'm tell you something, even a bully that can fight well, we've seen it happen. You know, where if a couple people but gang up on a bully, bully can get his ass whooped. Okay, we're not supposed to win. Okay, we're not going to win. I think some war games corporation of not DARPA or it sounds like damn I can't remember, but they just came out with a report saying that if we go into a fight with Russia and China, we're going to fucking get dogged, whooped. Okay, dogged. What we say, what black folks say, get dog walked. Okay, you know we go. And I can see now that now when people were saying about Russia and people, I don't think a lot of people seen it, but they use that same, pit one against each other, and they won't notice what's going on. So I do believe that Russia did have a hand in what's going on as far as the candidacy and a lot of these Facebook pages and stuff like that that was spreading hate and propaganda. And I do believe that they did have some type of influence on the elections because they needed to get a racist or someone that people would like, a racist or someone that would or so I would say, I wouldn't call him a racist. I would say, because he's a smart man, I would say that he knows how to play the racist in order to get what he wants. And they needed to have him in here so that he can be the mouthpiece to continue to divide on race, on race. Because guess what? They want they want civil war. They want us to be in disarray. So what they can come and do is, you guys, they're gonna trust me. United States, when it's all said and done, we don't have no allies except for England. True allies, oh, England. That's the only, because that's where we come from. I mean, well, as a nation, British and stuff like that. But outside of that, don't nobody like us. And I guarantee you, with China and Russia together, oh, I forgot Israel. I forgot Israel, England, because even if you want to go with Bible prophecy, okay, but Israel, ISIS, England, and us. Those are only the three. That's only the only people. Israel needs us. They're going to take us out. They need confusion. They want to bring, that's why a lot of police brutality stuff going on in the news. And, there's a lot of people, unfortunately, white people, you're being played. And so, you're being played in the manner of, uncovering your disdain for other people, and you've been allowed to you're showing yourself. I mean, and let's be honest. I mean, if we be honest, you see it. You see a lot of like people calling police for no reason. For I mean, come on, man. Like, so people, walking their dogs, in a park, and the dog humped my dog, so I'm gonna call. Come on, man. Okay, just if we all sit back and just be realistic and stop trying to not admit what we know is going on. Okay, I mean, we know what's going. So what has happened is it worked out because, and it's working because racial tensions are up, and they're having us on a steady feedback loop of police brutality. A lot of them are true. Unfortunately, they are true. A lot of, but it's a reason why they're using this. The media is using this, to incite racial tensions and hoping that there's a civil war, there's a race war. Because if either happens or something critical happens in this country, where there's a massive power grid outage or a EMP, Russia's in this motherfucker. Russia and China will be on this soil. I promise you. I have a tingling sensation. I'm just in my back of my neck because I've seen this in a dream. They're coming, and it would be our fault because we allowed them to pawn us and play us off because of color and some make believe entitlement that some elitists made because they needed their agenda. They needed a workforce, and then they needed to, a diversion. So in 1670, whatever, when they declared the white, because that, I hope a lot of you white people read up on your history. Not okay that that's made up. There was no such thing as a white man before like 1672 or something like that. There was no such thing. Elitists in these secret societies, these higher levels of secret societies. Even George Washington was a Mason and affiliated with these same secret societies that have ties to the Jesuits and other, secret societies that existed before this was even a nation. Okay, so we allowed them to. We're going to allow them to tip us, and I promise you, they're going to be here. It's going to happen. And I'm not saying that it's going to happen soon, but like I said, even in the Bible, like I said, I'm not a Christian, but I did used to read. I used to be, in the church and stuff like that. I mean, it does talk about, how Russia and China is going to go against Israel. But see, ain't nobody going to touch Israel with us, with us not doing anything because we fund Israel. And that's a whole nother story as far as like how that's another game that they play with us. Oh, let's blame this particular group or let's blame this and that while, because we don't have any money for jobs, we don't have any money for our economy, our roads, our schools, yet and still we're giving nations tens and hundreds of millions of dollars a year. And we need help. That's the globalists. Okay, and it's not about red or blue because they're both doing it. Okay, so and I know some of your patriot know it's the red and the blue and left and right. I'm telling you, they're playing the same game. Okay, they're playing the same game, and I don't know if you guys see it, but there's a mutiny afoot. There's a lot of things going on within the judicial system, the there's a lot of stuff going on. It's like weird, even when our military people. It's something happening that obviously we don't know. I don't know whose side is who, but there's a struggle. Because I mean, obviously, yes, there's some good intention people in these circles that you know, but most of them, y'all do realize a lot of the people that are in these, high ranking levels of society and politics and stuff like that, you do know that they are part of secret societies like Skull and Bones. Well, I think Skull and Bones is 222 or 322, and there's some other ones and stuff like that. Like you have to be a part of the game. You have to, go. You have to be down with it. Mu Muerdo Maduro. See, and again, like I was saying earlier in this broadcast, a lot of times, if we just look at history, if we look at every time America has gone in and was like, oh, we need to go save these people. Oh, this dictator, he's doing this, he's bombing their people or he's gassing their people. It's because we want whoever we're trying to back and say it's the true leader, or we want to, whether it's rebels or whoever, you know what I'm saying? Like whoever it is that we're trying to back in that conflict that has nothing to do with us, mind you, We want them there for a reason, because they're going to do our will. They're going to suck America's dick. They're going to put a centralized banking system in there, and they're going to do what they're told until they act up and don't do what they're told. And then we go back in there and say, oh, yeah, they're doing okay. We got to go in there and save these people. So, and even some of the people that are there in these particular places, they getting bamboo. They don't know no better either. They're getting the same propaganda too. So they might be fighting and rooting for this other, set of presidents or whatever it is, or tribal leaders and stuff, and they might be rooting for who we're rooting for, but they getting played too. So they're under the impression that they're going to have change, or what have you, and they get played in the end anyway. And, like I said, anytime that we go in and we say, just like we did with Saddam Hussein, oh, he's gassing the people, but we know, he has weapons of mass. First, you try to say he had weapons of mass destruction. We that did it, because that was a lie. Because we always wanted to go into Saudi Arabia. I mean, Iraq. Anyway, Gaddafi. What happened in the Kosovo in the 80s, Syria. It's always some shit. Even what's the other one that we occupy now for the poppy? And then how that it's always, oh, we got to go save them, and all of a sudden it's something that we won't. We got poppy fields, and so we got the opiate addiction going on now. Okay, it's always, every time we talk about, oh, let's go help these people, it's something that America wants. Okay, we're like, I don't know, we're a bully. I don't know, but it's something that we want out of. We ain't just finna go over here in your country because you getting gas to, whatever. They don't care. America don't even care about its own people. These are elitist, rich people who, I mean, ultra rich, who are really crazy. They're trying to bring in humanism. They're trying to bring, they're trying to bring in AI. They want fucking robots, us to integrate with robots, and put shit in our brains and stuff, because, oh, we're gonna create this entity, this AI, sentient, like data from Star Trek, and so it doesn't perceive us as a threat. We need to integrate with it. Okay, okay, so they're knocking us off the top of the food chain, and we're just like, oh yeah, that's the propaganda. I see, I even see now. I see like little workshops about humanism, and they're trying to make it all posh and cool for the, and they're trying to attract the younger people in their 30s and under, like, yeah, humanism. And, oh well, you're already kind of a cyborg, because you have this phone, you have, you may have implants, like a heart implant, or maybe some rods or something in your body. You know what I mean? Like, they're playing, stop, kitty, move. you know they they're playing that card, but it's see, it's a game, and they do this to us all the time. But I know I don't went way off the to a kind of off to the left, but I just want to say that, you know we had the time as a nation to really come together. Unfortunately, we allowed our insecurities and propaganda to really divide us, and continue to, and keep us divided. And it's just unfortunate, what's going to go down here. If you, I'm telling you, there's going to be, war is coming to this nation. War is coming to our shores. People that don't belong here with guns are coming to our shores. They're coming. I'm not saying tomorrow, or this has something to do with the blackout or whatever that's coming. That's coming too. But I'm just saying that it's a biblical prophecy. It's a Hopi prophecy, and like I said, some of the things that like the whole report about how we gonna get our ass kicked and shit like that, and it just makes me uneasy about these dreams that I was having back in like '05, '06, '07. The same dreams over and over again. It's gonna be bad, but I'm telling you, don't be comfortable with your life. Don't take what's going on around us globally as lightly. What's happening in Venezuela is coming here. What happened in Puerto Rico is coming here, meaning that once the lights go out, that's what it's gonna be like, and like how it was in Puerto Rico, no water, none of that. So they're not coming to save us intentionally. Okay, get your Faraday cages ready, get your water filtration systems ready. Print out some shit, put it and laminate it. Like get a book or something like, um, a notebook or something where you can laminate it and your pages and stuff, because you won't be able to access that stuff. The internet's gonna be down. So things that like DIY things, step for Faraday cage, or because for example, you may end up having the materials. You might get your little materials for it, or like for your water filtration system with the rocks and stuff like that. But you may be like, oh, okay, I forgot, like, okay, how I put this together. Okay, I start working on that. Man has made a fuckery of itself. Man is very destructive. It is, I mean, humankind, for us, all we do is war and kill and poison, destroy, and we're destructive as fuck. All it is. War, take, kill, destroy. I mean, there's so much more to the universe that we could have. Motherfucker, I don't give a fuck. Bye. Um, it's just unfortunate, and it's like men almost, but I don't want to say it's men. I'm just gonna say humankind. We're very destructive, and I even what all we've done is conquered and destroyed and conquered and destroyed life, destroyed civilizations, people, nature, animals. You know, like it's all we've done, and I'm not talking about just current events. I'm talking about conquest of the Roman conquest. This all we do, and we could have been so much more. There's a whole universe out there, and right now we are faced with the brink of annihilation. Because guess what? I wouldn't put it past. They would have to get our. They would have whatever they did, because I just feel like this is how America feel like if they finna go out, they're gonna go out with a bang. So if they don't disarm our warheads and our arsenals first, we letting out everything. Cause you like, we finna die. Everybody finna die. Okay. And in that scenario, what a waste. What a waste of being humanity. We about to fuck up this planet. We are about to destroy this planet. There's gonna be swaths of areas of the continent and of on Earth that will not be habitable for human life and most life. Everybody, whoever has nukes. I mean, we as humanity, because it's our fault. We, okay? We as humanity. I mean, I can say men, mankind, man. Okay. And bye. So, I figured I'm documenting my own fucking thoughts. I don't care that you don't agree. I'm not trying to convince you or of something. I'm not trying to convince you of something. Perhaps you're new to my channel. I have some videos that will let you know that I'm not monetized. I don't give a fuck about how you feel, if you agree or disagree. This is more of a diary, if you will, because unfortunately, people don't think discuss these things. If you try to discuss with people, people think you're like an extremist, or you are like a doomsday person, or you're weird, or you just a tinfoil hat person, you are a conspiracy theory. So this is just my place that I can vent. So let me throw that out there. I don't give a fuck if you do agree, or like I'm going to change your fucking mind or something, like I'm going to stop the world from imploding. But I see it coming. Like if we don't, if 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 they don't disarm us, our warheads, we gonna let everything out, everything that we can get off. We gonna let that motherfucker loose. And what I'm saying is mankind and our mindset of conquer, destroy, um, and whatever these fucking secret societies are doing, CERN, they're saying they're trying to open up portals to another dimensions, and motherfuckers fucking with shit. And we could have done so much better as a life form on this planet. I mean, people just I know you're men, so maybe y'all don't, because y'all don't understand. You're like, y'all don't get it, because that's how men are. They're very right, but they don't think, they don't have. It's like y'all compassion and just why all this is we. It's gonna get bad, yo. It's gonna get bad. It's gonna get bad. For what? For what? Power, greed, lust. For what? Displacing people, killing people, collateral damage, that's going to occur. People, maybe I'm more of a sympathetic and empathetic, and I don't like people gonna lose their family members. People gonna be dying. Even in Venezuela, there's people right now dying because the fucking electricity ain't on. They're not getting. Some people need. I seen some about some people needed some type of something medical medicine that needed to be cold. They couldn't even. They ain't got no electricity for, like, because of a few. The many suffer, and for what? This ain't man mankind. This is not your planet. And unfortunately, I feel, and I've said this, like, especially on my Facebook page, I'd be saying this too. Like, I wish 50-mile wide iron ore asteroid hit this motherfucker, because we have gotten besides us ourselves, and we need to be done for, because this is not our fucking planet, and we are fucking it up for, whatever Illuminati seances, whatever the fuck, I don't know, bringing in the devil. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, why, and just needless greed. Oh, making products that is just not biodegradable or just not conducive to the environment, like poisoning the people for a profit. Americans, y'all don't understand a lot of shit that they feed us. They outlaw in other countries. The shit that we allow for what we are a fuck up. We're a galactic fuck up. There's no way we should be have the motivations that we have. For what? It's gonna be a lot of shit. And this next war, which they kind of say we are in, we began when we went to, I want to say, Iraq for the second time. But this next big conflict is going to be worse than World War One and Two put together. And death and destruction for what? For what? And then they got all of us at the bottom like, yeah, go kill them. Yeah, fuck them. I mean, like, oh yeah, and oh yeah, what you say? Fuck America. Oh, let's go bomb them, and like they got us. That patriotism, and every country is the same way. You know what I mean? Because everybody's getting played. Don't get me wrong. Everybody in every country is getting played. There's because this is a global thing that they're doing. That there's a this is something that has many parts, and many nations are involved in this. So don't get it twisted. It ain't just America or England. Everybody is playing their part. Everybody's getting fucking played, and they're like, yeah, and how they get us mind control, how they get us to go along with these ideals. Fuck them, yeah, go take their land, yeah, like yeah, let's go bomb the motherfucking people. Yeah, let's go bomb their people, even though it's a fucking regime or a president or whoever that you got beef with. Let's go take our people. They have shit to do and go kill their innocent people. Yeah, let's go do that. And then put it on TV like, oh, these are rebels. They're fighting us back. Of course, if somebody come in your house, you're gonna fight back. Just like when them motherfuckers start dropping from the parachuting from them planes on American soil, we're gonna fight back, and it's gonna happen. Oh my goodness, it's gonna happen. Oh my god. Okay, that just gets tingles every time I think about it, because the that dream is very very vivid still to this day. Like, and I don't know if I should share it, but all I can tell you is it's going to be fucked up, and it's going to be fucked up. It was very scary, very surreal, very fight or flight, very, you didn't know what the fuck was going on, what was around the corner as a civilian person. Get prepared, you know, we don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, I want to say let's unite and stuff, but we're not going to as a nation. I know that in like 9/11 in certain times of tragedies, we do come together, but and then we back to hating each other again, or thinking one is better than the other, one's taking their jobs away from them, and and then got mad because of affirmative action and all that bullshit. It's a vicious cycle, and it's just fucking unfortunate, and it's just an unfortunate. It's just unfortunate, man. But hey, in order to rebuild, you must destroy in order to rebuild. Order out of chaos, and I think that's some type of, I don't know if that's masonry or one of them cults or whatever. Order out of chaos, and that's what it is. It's order out of chaos. Every time they destroy, something else comes. So, unfortunately, we still going in the wrong direction. So when out of the chaos will be order, and then there'll be the new world order. Motherfuckers, you crazy elitists, and they goddamn cyborgs, and surveyed cities, cities that are just wired to the T with cameras, and and no privacy. It'd be like Black Mirror and China. You can't, anything that you search up will be looked at, and you have social points, and unfortunately America will be knocked down, and the people that will survive will be on a level of third world. I wouldn't say third world, but maybe like a little bit above that, where we just going to be workers. We're not going to have no pull or no say. Like, we ain't gonna be able to be like, I said, do this, or we gonna sanction you. No, we ain't gonna have that lit no more. We are definitely that the superpower, the muscle. America's the muscle. Russia will be the muscle when it's all said and done with. When this all happens, and you could be mad at the shit if you want to, but if you, like I said, if you go, it's biblical prophecy, it's Hopi tribe prophecy. We are the hordes of Babylon. Babylon will be destroyed, and just in general, curse because of how we've dealt as a nation. Motherfuckers don't like us. We are two faced like a muff. 1 minute we cool with you, we want to do business with you and some shit. But if we, you get to a certain point, or we want something from you, we'll backstab you, or we won't help you or some shit. We treacherous. We can't be fucking trusted. Don't nobody trust us. So it's karma. How you deal and how you just be bullying people. We've been all over this nation and all over in other people's shit, bullying them, lying to go and they shit to take their shit. It's inevitable. What goes around comes around. Just like with the bully in school, the bully eventually get his ass whooped. Hate it or love it. I don't give a fuck. Reality is we finna get our ass whooped, and it's gonna happen. I know some military friends, or you're not close friends, but I know some people in the military are like, yeah, I kind of talked to them about my dream, and he was like, oh, I wish they would come. I'm like, dude, you just, you know, I mean, I understand. You're supposed to think you the shit. You're supposed to think you the shit. You know what I mean? I understand it. You're like, no, ain't nobody finna fuck with me. I'll fuck them up. No, ain't nobody finna fuck with America. We gonna get, yeah, we about it. It's the reason why we ain't never really went after the first wars went up and fucked with Russia. Okay, and you notice how when we quick to go up into some of these melanated countries, like, or countries that got a little bit of color to them. We run up in they shit lying. Oh, it's weapons of mass destruction. Oh, they said fuck America. We running that motherfucker. But notice all the white countries, Sweden, all that other stuff, and Russia. Oh, we might, tit for tat, or do some sanctions, or we had the Cuban Missile Crisis, and I forgot to mention this about Venezuela. Venezuela, Russia and China got ties, some business in Venezuela, in within Venezuela, and the T is that Venezuela is too fucking close for Russia to be. We don't like that because they're right. If you look at Venezuela, it's right behind Cuba, which is where they was trying to set up shop at. What, I don't know, what, 50 years ago, 40 years ago. Cuban Missile Crisis was the 80s, 70s, 80s. So, and we're not liking that. So, That's what the real, and you gotta read between the lines. That would make sense. So, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. If we, I don't know. I don't know. I just, all I know is, man, treat your neighbor better. You know, no, there's no such thing as black and no such thing as white. It was made up. Okay, maybe that'll kinda, you know, calm some shit down in between us. You were bamboozled to think that you were better than somebody else because they needed you to be distracted, and then they needed a workforce. Okay, because before that decree, we was all equal, and then they made decrees saying that if you were white and this new white found whiteness, interacting with these slaves and negroes, you're going to suffer said consequences, and it could be even death, or they say hangings. So know that there is no such thing as white or white superiority. The shit is made up. You just sit on that, chew on that. It was made up by elitists. Because if you get the poorest, lowest white man to think he is better than the most educated black man, he won't notice us picking his pockets. You have been fooled into hating someone else for the color of their skin. And I know it's not your fault because your parents didn't know any better, and because that's what they was raised in, and so forth and so on. The same people that y'all talking about right now are globalists and elitists, and they're trying to bring in world order shit. It's the same, stem from the same um, globalist agenda having elite group occult groups, and skull and bones, and all these Jesuits and all these secret societies of 300-400 years ago and beyond. The same people. They were the same people then that came up with the shit so that they can do what they needed to do. Them was the same people. George Washington was a Mason. This country was not founded on Christianity. That's another bubble I hate to burst. But we have to, before, if it all gonna go down, we got to come to grips with some things. Some things that we failed at, some things that we allowed to us, to be divided and manipulated with by elite families and bloodlines and secret societies that had a deviant and sick plan. And while we've been hating on each other, they've been putting their shit together. And then they lie to us. Oh, they're stealing our money, and then they say, oh, well, blame this group, or blame the Mexicans, or blame the black people, or oh, it's affirmative action. Ways no one by just outright stealing trillions of dollars and they can't find, to the companies that they're affiliated with, their buddies affiliated with, having these lenient tax laws and these lenient laws, and then letting them go overseas, and because it's all about not backing the dollar by anything. Oh, they've been fucking us all, both sides, both holes. Okay, red, blue, don't matter. They both doing the same shit. And whoever so once in a while they play good cop, bad cop. They are playing on the foundation of racist bullshit that they created. That has infected now everybody globally. But it's a good. It was ingenious actually. It's I mean, and it's like on a lower level of putting pitting two people against each other, you know what I'm saying, and to get them to do some shit, or be mad at each other and fight each other, so you could, what I'm saying, you could, whatever your agenda was, You know, maybe you're trying to steal out the house, or you're trying to take one of them's, whatever. Take somebody money. Just it's